Hi everyone, so I'm from Uckfield Gymnastics Club and I'm going to be bringing you weekly lessons as part of the Reboot and Active Sussex programme for teenagers and their families to take part in. So, following our governing body advice, I'm not actually allowed to coach any skills for online videos, but with the two key factors of gymnastics being strength and flexibility, I'll be bringing you different lessons for cardio, strength, flexibility, and then a few core gymnastic skills too. So, before we start, I know we don't have much space to work in, so we're just going to work around that and just do what you can and just work in the space that you've got. Okay, so before we start, you need to make sure that you're in some loose clothing, with t-shirt, leggings, shorts, anything like that, and it is also best to work with bare feet too if you can, just so you don't slip around. Before we start, we are going to need a skipping rope because we're going to start off with some skipping, and make sure you also have some water nearby too, as we will be taking water breaks. So, go find yourself a skipping rope. Now, if you don't have a skipping rope, it doesn't matter because you can just pretend to have one. You're going to hold in your hands, just good as you jump in like this. Okay, but if you do have one, that's great. Go and find one and then we will get started. And take a quick drink. Okay, I'm going to grab my skipping rope. Now I'm going to do my very best with skipping, but I haven't skipped in a very long time, so you might actually be better than me. So first of all, we're just going to do jumping feet together. Again, if you don't have your skipping rope or you don't have enough space in your house to do skipping, just pretend, just jump and swing your arms around like this. Right, off we go, just jumping first. Well done, keep going. Okay, take it into running. Oh, one got stuck. Well done, keep it out. Doesn't matter if it keeps getting caught, just carry on and join back in. Okay, well done. Right, let's see if you can hop on one leg now. Oh, mine got stuck again. And swap legs. And back into running. Whew. Good, well done. Right, hopefully you're nice and warm now. So that's got me all puffed out. Grab yourselves a drink of water. More things just to get your heart rate going, then we're going to go into a few strength exercises. So first of all, we're going to do some tuck jumps. So when you do a tuck jump, knees have to come all the way up to your tummies. So both knees lift up as high as you can, like this. Okay, we're going to do 10 of them. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, lift those knees high, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, well done. Okay, one more lot of jumps, we're going to do star jumps. So, the easier version is called a jumping jack. So you go out and back in again. Now the full version of this, your legs are going to go out, in the air, and then join back together on the floor. Like that. 10 of these as well. Off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well done. Okay, right into a few strength exercises now. So, hands onto your hips, feet together. We're going to do ankle raises. So, you have to rise all the way up on your toes and back down again. Try not to let your ankles come out. Keep them squeezed together. We're going to do 10 of these too. 1, 2, 3, all the way up. 4, 5, as high as you can. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good, well done. Okay, next one, we're going to lie down onto our backs. You're going to bend your knees. We're going to lie all the way down onto the floor and we're going to do sit-ups. So trying to sit all the way up. Now, if you need to, you can find something to put on your feet, whether your feet go under a sofa or someone sit on your feet, it might help a little bit. Or you can have a try by yourself. So starting lying down, we're going to go all the way up. 1, and back down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent, well done everybody, okay. Another exercise we're going to do is press ups. So if you can, try and do it in a front support position, like this. So hips nice and flat, try not to let your tummy sink, and try not to lift your bottoms up, try and stay flat. Or you can go onto your knees, again, try and keep your tummy lifted, and we're going to do 10 of these. Try and get as low to the floor as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well done, very good. Okay, this time we're going to stay in that press up shape and we're going to do something called a press up run. So it's as if you're running, but in a press up shape. So you're going to go back into this position, keeping your hips flat. We're going to lift one leg at a time and try and get it as close through your arms as you can. And then you swap and do the other leg. Now if you need to, you can do it a bit slower like this. Or if you can, try and do it nice and fast. Are we ready? 10 of these too. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent, well done. Okay, now before we start any full stretches and go into some core skills, we do need to do a warm up. But before we do that, grab yourselves another drink of water. Okay, now we need to make sure you've got enough space to do this warm up. So find yourselves the biggest space you can. To test that space, you're going to put your arms out to the side and move your arms around, like this. Now, if you're touching something, you don't have enough space, try and find somewhere else. Okay, we're going to stand with our feet apart slightly, arms down by our sides, and we're just going to lift our head up and down. So looking up to the ceiling, down to the floor. Well done. Head side to side, over one shoulder, then the other shoulder. Very good. Okay, we're going to take one arm round backwards, keeping it as straight as you can and try and brush your ear. Swap arms. And both arms together. Well done. Okay, taking one arm forwards now. Again, try and make it go nice and close to your ear. And the other arm. And both arms together. Okay, well done. Right, placing your hands on your hips, trying to keep your legs really straight, and your feet should be shoulder width apart, but just a little bit further out. And we're going to lean right over to the side, doing a really big stretch. You can feel it all the way up your side. To increase that stretch, take your arm over and really reach out as far as you can. Well done. Hands back on your hip, over to the other side. Again, leaning over as far as you can. And take that arm over and really, really reach across. Very good. Okay, taking a really big stretch up. We're going to place our hands onto our knees and keeping your legs straight. You try not to bend your knees because otherwise you won't feel the stretch through your hamstrings. So nice straight legs, sliding your hands down as far as they will go to your toes. And a big stretch up. Okay, we're going to do the same again, but this time we're going to reach to the middle so we're touching the floor. So everyone reaching down to the middle and touching the floor. And take your arms just out to the side and try and let your body drop down into your legs. And stretch up tall, well done. Okay, putting those feet together. We're going to repeat the same exercise but with our legs together. So, big stretch up tall, hands onto your knees first, and sliding down all the way to your toes. If you can, it would be really good if you're able to get your chest onto your legs. Now, I'm not as flexible as I used to be anymore, so it's a bit of a struggle for me too. And a big stretch up. Excellent, give your legs just a little shake. Well done. Okay, next we're going to go onto our hands and knees, so we're warming up our wrists. So, flat hands on the floor, fingers facing forward, we're just going to rock forwards and backwards. Nice and gentle, not too big with your movements. And fingers to the side, going side to side. Well done. Fingers facing your knees. Again, making sure your hands are flat on the floor. And fingers facing each other and going side to side. Well done. Right, I'm just going to turn sideways to the camera so you can see what I'm doing fully. So we're going to sit back onto our feet, stretch your arms forwards, and press your shoulders down into the floor. Well done. Right, now we're going to take our nose and our chin really close to the floor and push your body up really tall. At the back, try and keep your legs together, try not to have your feet apart, and pushing up tall and opening those shoulders up. Very good. And sitting back again. And through the middle again. Sitting up tall. Now, if you can, if you're feeling flexible, try and bend your knees and take your head all the way back to your feet. Now, as you can see, I'm quite a way off. But you might be a lot more flexible than I am. Very good, okay. Sitting in your bottoms, legs out in front. Now, this shape is called a pike shape. So, making sure your feet are together, nice long legs. We're going to lean forwards, pick one foot up, take your leg across, and just hold on to the ankle, and we're just going to circle your ankle around, making sure you're turning it in both directions. And hold on to that leg. And pick the other foot up, and circle that foot round. Well done, holding on to that foot. Now, if you can, try and flex your feet, lean forwards, and see if you can pull your heels off the floor. But you must make sure that your knees stay on the floor the whole time. So it's just giving you that little extra stretch. Well done, good try everybody. Okay, point your feet again, sitting up really tall, and we're going to lean over as far as you can, down towards your feet. If you can, try and get your nose down to touch your knees. I'm just going to hold it for 5. Excellent, good try everybody. Okay, opening your legs up now, so we're sitting in a straddle shape. So arms out to the side. We're going to cross one arm over, lift the other arm up, and reaching all the way over to your foot. Well done, and back out again. Swap arm, lift the other arm up, and over to your foot. When you're doing this, try not to lift this leg off the floor. Try and keep it nice and flat down to the floor. Okay, to start this stretch off a little bit easier, we're going to place our hands under our chin and just try and get as low down to the floor as you can. An advanced version of this is reaching forwards and aiming to go nice and flat. Just stay at your own level, don't push yourselves too hard. Okay, bring those legs together. We're now going to drop our knees down to the floor and keep your feet together so we're in a butterfly position. Slowly and gently just pulse those legs up and down. Now place your hands on your knees and just gently push your knees down to the floor. Again, not too hard. Don't push yourselves too hard. Stay at the level that's comfortable for you. Okay, we're going to see if we can get our heads down to our feet and reaching our hands as far forwards as we can. Very good, okay. Right, we're just going to go into some lunges now, so I'm going to turn side onto the camera so you can see. When you do this with your front leg, try to make sure that your knee stays right over your toe. You don't want to have it like this, and you don't want to be too far back either. So you've got a bent leg at the front, straight leg at the back. Just holding that position, pressing this hip down into the floor. Okay, well done. Right, sitting back onto this knee now, so you're stretching your front leg. So you're up in this position. I'm just going to lean over our leg. So this is also a great warm-up for splits. Now we're not going to do splits today, but we might head in that direction over the coming weeks. Well done. Okay, let's swap legs. So bent leg at the front, hands either side of your leg, and straighten your back leg, pressing that hip down to the floor. Well done. Right, sitting back on that knee, stretching your front leg out, and leaning over as far as you can. Well done. Okay, we're just going to do a couple more hamstring stretches today, just to really loosen off all the way down the backs of your legs. So, we're going to relax into our stretches, and we need to hold these stretches for about 20 seconds so we can really feel the benefit of it, and then improve our flexibility as the weeks go by. So, first stretch, we're just going to stretch up really tall, and we're aiming to get our chest all the way onto our legs when we're reaching down to our feet. So, we're just going to drop into that stretch, really relax into it. I know it stretches, but we're just going to hold it for 20. If you can place your hands backwards on the floor behind your feet. If not, just reach down as far as you can. Keeping your legs really straight, don't bend your knees. Okay, very good. Right, a different variation of this stretch. We're going to bend our knees now. You're going to wrap your arms around the backs of your legs, so your chest stays on your legs. Now, I just want you to straighten your legs as far as you can, but make sure your chest stays on your legs the whole time. So as you can see, I can't fully straighten my legs as it stretches too much, but I'm keeping my chest all the way onto my legs. Very good, well done. Excellent, okay, right, standing with your legs apart. We're now going to go back into this stretch that we were doing a minute ago. So we're going to really reach over to the side. Now we're going to turn and bring our hands all the way down onto this one foot. If you can, try and hold onto the back of your ankle and pull your chest into that leg. And we're just going to hold it there. Try and make sure your legs are straight. Very good, well done. Okay, over to the other side. So starting off with the stretch. Then we're turning down onto our leg. And pull your chest in as far as it will go, keeping those legs straight. Very good, well done, okay. Sitting back onto the floor, we're going to go into one last stretch. So sitting back in our pike position. So the stretch we've already done, we only held it for 5 seconds. We're going to lean forwards and get our chest as close to our legs as we can. Now, to increase that stretch, if you need to make it a little bit more difficult for yourself, you're going to flex your feet. And you really feel that pulling up the back of your legs. And again, if that's still too easy and you're super flexible, you can try and raise your feet onto something a little bit higher, have both feet up higher, and just leaning forwards again. Right, everyone starting up with a nice big stretch. And just leaning forwards as far as you can go, and staying in that position. Really try and relax your body into it. Try not to pull away from the stretch. Excellent, well done. 5 more seconds. Excellent, well done. Okay, right, the next thing we're going to go on to is we are going to do some balances. So, you need to make sure that, again, you've got enough space around you so you can stretch your arms out and your legs as they will be going in different directions. Okay, before we start, grab yourselves another drink. Let's get nice and refreshed and ready to work. Okay, everybody, come back into your spaces then. Brilliant. So, the first balance we're going to start off with is just a one leg balance. So, arms out to the sides. Now, to stay balanced, you really have to keep your arms as strong as you can. If you've got floppy arms and one drops down to the side, you'll probably fall over. So, keep those arms really strong. Keep your middle nice and tight, and your bottom leg that you're balancing on has to be really straight too. So, we're going to place our arms out to the side. All we're going to do first is just lift our leg up and see if we can hold it for 5 seconds. 3, 4, 5. Very good, place it down. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see that one again. So foot starts out, just lift it up and bend that knee. Well done. Okay, now a different variation of this is you can lift your leg up and hold it straight. See how high you can lift that leg. If you need to, you can try and hold on to something and see if you can lift your leg even higher, like this. So you're holding on and lift that leg up. And try and balance for 5 on each of these. Have a couple of goes and see how high you can get that leg. I mean, some of you might even be able to hold your leg and pull it all the way up. That'd be brilliant. But again, just stay at your own level. Okay, next what we're going to do, we're going to take our leg out to the side. We're just going to lift that leg and try and balance on one leg with your leg to the side. Now, you can also try and do it on both legs. See if you're just as stable on both legs. And it's also giving both legs a nice good workout that's on the bottom. Okay, so we're going to take this one into something called a T balance. So you're going to place one arm onto your leg, the other arm goes up to your ear. You have to lean over as far as you can, so you look like the letter T. So, well done. See if you can hold that one maybe just for 3 seconds, as that's a little bit harder, that one. And just have a couple of goes. See if you can try it on the other leg as well. Have a few practices. Oh, my leg's a bit wobbly. Okay, good try. Right, another balance we can try with our legs to the side is something called a Y scale. So you're going to place your hand underneath your foot, and you have to try and stretch that leg out to the side. This one is a little bit more advanced. If you can, just see if you can hold onto that leg and just stretch it out to the side a little bit. Just stay at your own level. Have a few tries, have a few goes. Practice around with all those different balances, and then we'll have another try of a different one in a minute. Good try, everyone, well done. Okay, this time I'm going to go into something called an arabesque. So I'm going to face the side so you can see me. Arms out to the side again, keep them really straight and strong. Place one foot behind you, and you're going to lift that leg up and try and drop your chest a little bit. And that's called an arabesque. Now, if you can, you want to try and make a slight arch in your back with your leg a little bit higher. Again, try on your other leg as well. See if you can do that one just as good. It's always good to practice on both legs. Well done. Okay, right, for this next exercise, we might need something like a ball. So go see if you can find a little ball, and only if it's safe enough to have one in your house, or maybe if you're in a garden, that'll be fine too. So I've just got a little ball. Just a small ball's absolutely fine. So before we use the ball, just going to come onto our knees. You're going to place one foot in front and see if you can balance on one leg, just on that knee. This one's quite tricky. You can either have a bent leg at the front, or you can try and straighten it. Again, swap legs and have a go on that leg too. Now, if you find that you are managing to get your balance, grab yourself a ball and see if you can balance on your knee and try and catch the ball at the same time, without that foot touching the floor. Let's have a few goes at this. If it's still a little bit difficult, you can still just try and do the balance. Whoa. Again, try and swap legs as well, so you're working both legs. Good, well done. Okay, let's put that ball to the side. That's it. Okay, this time we're going to go into a reverse press-up shape. So, you're going to sit with your legs out long, fingers facing forwards and they place behind you, and keep your hands flat on the floor. And you're going to lift your hips up as high as you can. Now, a different variation of this is trying to lift one leg up to the ceiling, and then swapping legs as well. Just try and hold each of these for 5 seconds. See if you can hold 5 seconds with your feet together, 5 seconds with one leg up, And then 5 seconds with the other leg up. Try and keep your bottom legs really straight and keep your hips as high as you possibly can when you're doing it. Make sure your hands are flat on the floor too. We don't want any fingertips because you will hurt your thumbs or your fingers. So nice flat hands on the floor so you're nice and safe when you're doing it. Okay, well done. Right, I'm going to turn to the side on this one. So this one is called a shoulder stand. So your hands are going to place on your hips. You're going to roll onto your back and lift your legs all the way up to the ceiling and try and balance on the top half of your back and your shoulders. When you do it, you need to try and make sure your elbows stay in so it keeps you balanced when you're doing it. If your elbows out, it might be a little bit harder to hold it. So you're going to go all the way up, hands on your hips, up as tall as you possibly can. You're aiming to get nice and flat. So try not to let your legs go over your head too much. Lift them up tall to the ceiling. And come down. Very good. Okay, we're going to have another try at that. Now, if you found that easy, we're going to try and make it a little bit harder, and you keep your arms straight on the floor. So you're just balancing with no arms this time. But again, if you still struggled with that one, keep your hands on your back. And we're going to lift up, and hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Well done. Okay, this time we're going to do something called a pike V-sit hold. So, hands placed on the floor behind you, and you're going to try and lift your legs up and keep them as straight as you possibly can. Well done. Now the aim is to get your legs as high as you can up to your face, but if you just need to do it small just to get your balance, that's a really good start too. Well done. Okay, different variation of this, we're going to use no hands. So can you balance just on your bottom? No hands. Keeping your legs as straight as you possibly can. That's it. We try one more time. So legs all the way up. And just balance in on that bottom. Very good. Okay. One last one. We're going to go into a front support position. So like we did with our press-ups earlier, hips nice and flat, and trying to balance that. Now, more variations of this, the same as the reverse press-up shape. See if you can lift one leg up off the floor. Try not to let your bottom rise and your shoulders move. Try and keep your shoulders over your hands, hips flat, and lifting one leg up. And then we'll swap into the other leg. Very good try, well done. Okay, so to cool ourselves off, we're just going to do a few more stretches just to loosen that body off. Good work today, everybody. So balancing is a key aspect of gymnastics as well, especially for women's artistic when they have to balance up on a beam. So obviously it's very important to be able to balance on the floor first. Okay, just to ease ourselves off, we're going to take one arm across our chest, other arm pulls into it. So you're just releasing your shoulders here, your arm, and into your back as well. And swapping on. Very good. Okay, reaching up tall. And we're going to come all the way down to the floor. Really relaxing into that stretch. You can place your feet in straddle if you want as well. Really get down as far as you can. No bouncing, just loosen off. Give those wrists a little wiggle. Shake those legs around a little bit. Okay, well done. So that is all for today. Please have a go at all the other activities that are on the Reboot programme. Joining in with your families. So that is all from me today. I will be back again next Wednesday at 3 o'clock with a different activity. I hope you're all staying safe, and I'll see you all then. Bye.